oras yu amin, gagayam. Ating nga kanito, kita intay man nga rodenggen manende sorosoro iti nanamo nga maestroyo. Awan sa balay ni Maestro Herminaldo. Okay, so alright. Hello my dear students. Welcome back to my channel. At this moment, we will now start the discussion on Module 2 since natapos na natin ang Module 1. I hope na nanonood kayo ngayon and pinapanood nyo yung ibang mga lessons natin, yung Module 1, Lesson 1 to 4 na videos natin. Pag hindi nyo pa napanood, simulan nyo na. Bakit? Kasi some of the contents of your midterm exams will be based on my discussions. And don't forget to read your modules with patience and understanding. Okay? So, some of it. Okay, so, ibang mga outfit natin ngayon. Outfit of the day. Senator Herminaldo Estilong.
Oh my God! Wow!
Mukha na ba ang representative? Pang kuwan na ba to? Pang senador or pang presidente? Okay, sino mga officers natin dyan? Congratulations! So, I hope na you will do your best to serve your country. Yeah. Serve your fellow students, serve your college, and this will be your training ground to become a good public servant. Okay? So, pag nasanay nyo na yung sarili ninyo, you will be adaptive. You can now enjoy how public servants perform in their respective duties and responsibilities, especially when it comes to the general welfare of your students, of the college and the fellow students. Okay? So, congratulations sa mga nanalo sa officers natin, mga SBO. So, sa BPA, inasign ako na maging advisor ninyo. Hopefully, maging productive tayo. Okay? So, we have here the lesson 1 in Module 2. Entitled The Agenda Setting. So, relate tayo dito kasi speaking of officers, pag-usapan natin yan. So, ano yung mga agenda ninyo? So, when you meet, bago tayo pala mag-proceed sa ating discussion, meron akong isang question para sa inyo, especially sa mga officers natin, sa mga aspiring officers, aspiring public servant. So, this is the question. When you meet as a class, when you meet as an organization, so pag nag-meeting kayo, pag nag-organize kayo ng conference or informal meetings, for example, sa mga officers, yan. So, the question is, do you consider having an agenda before the meeting or during the meeting? So, do you consider having an agenda before the meeting or during the meeting? Bago kayo mag-meeting, alam niyo na ba yung agenda niyo? Madalas ba nagmi-meet kayo as a group nang hindi niyo alam kung ano man lang yung pag-uusapan? Tsaka na lang, di ba? Tsaka na lang pag nandun na. Ganun ba yan? Or as an officer, sa mga na-elect natin, so as an officer, when you attend meetings, do you consider asking, ano ba yung agenda natin? What is our agenda? If yes, then that's good. That means you have that eagerness to help your organization. By knowing it, you have time to come up with ideas and concerns that you can raise during the meeting. But when you said no, check out your heart. Am I a true leader? Am I a true public administration student. Kasi pag public administration student ka, you need to become aware on what is the agenda, especially during times of meetings and conferences. Okay? Now, ano nga ba ang agenda? Generally, agenda is simply the subject matter. Consists of what? A list of things to be considered or discussed at a meeting. But in public policy, meron tayong tinatawag na policy agenda. Ang policy agenda is refers to the list of subjects, ayan, yung pointer ko. List of subjects or problems to which governmental officials and people outside the government closely associated with these officials are paying some serious attention at a given time, according to Kingdom. So, in short, ito pa pala. It is the collection of problems, understanding causes, simple solutions, and public problems. Attention to members, public, and their governmental officials. So in short, ang policy agenda is composed of public problems or the policy problem. Pero ano nga ba ang policy problem or public problem? Ang public problems are conditions and situations among people that seek a governmental action. So there is a need, kailangan ng action from the government. That's why any public problem can be a policy agenda. Ay, malaki ba yung mukha ko dito? Sorry. Di ko napalitan. Ayan. Yung tintukoy natin. Ang laki pa. Na-enjoy. Nadala. Okay? So, that's why any public problem can be a policy agenda. Okay, however, in setting agenda, maraming kailangang i-consider. Ano nga ba ang agenda setting? Agenda setting is the process or behavior to adopt social issue or problem as a policy problem. In the process, social issue or problem is chosen as a governmental issue. Take note, it's a process in adopting a problem or a social issue that considers to be a policy problem. And these issues are chosen to be a governmental issue. So, pag ang isang issue naging governmental issue, hindi mo na lang issue. So, for example, sa DIMSU, di ba? Ang issue ng isang estudyante is masyadong madaming requirements. Nakarelate ba kayo? Masyadong madaming pinapagawa. Sabi mo sa issue mo. So, issue mo yun. Diba? So, ayun. Paano magiging governmental issue yan? Kapag meron ng, siyempre, complaints. Meron ng, naipuntahan na yung issue na yon into a step-by-step process. Pumunta sa advisor, pumunta sa chairman, pumunta sa dean, pumunta sa chancellor, diba? So, kapag pumunta na doon, it considers to be the governmental issue or the general issue. So, ngayon, makaka-map with a public policy. Lahat kayong mga teacher, ganun na sila, di ba? So, ganun. Kapag pangkalahatan na yung issue, hindi lang ikaw yung may issue na, it will be chosen as a governmental issue or it can be maging considered to be a policy agenda. Okay ba? So, that's it. What is agenda setting? Ano pang meaning niya? According to other experts. So, it involves getting an issue to be recognized. So, this slide is get from Ateneo. Okay, so may reference tayo yan. So, agenda setting involves getting an issue to be recognized. So, yung issue mo, there is a need to be recognized. So, what about this? About government recognizing a problem is a public problem. So, hindi individual problem. Okay? Worthy of its attention. So, example, may complaint ka, may students, as a student, di ba? May complaint ka sa schools mo, sa mga modules ninyo. Question yourself, is this worthy of attention? Karapat-dapat bang bigyan ng attention yan? Karapat-dapat bang maging public problem yan? Or pwede pang ma-settle within your department or within your section? Diba? Kung may problema kayo. Diba? So kahit sa barangay ninyo, sa locality niyo, kung may mga problema kayo, so kung may individual issues kayo na gusto nyong i-address, diba? So mahirap yung sabihin nyo, issue niyo, ano ba? Yung kalsada, diba? Walang street light. Is this worthy of attention? Siyempre. Bakit? Kasi apektado lahat eh. Lahat dumadaan doon. So parang ganun. Considered to be public problem, hindi lang ikaw. So nagiging policy agenda siya, and then nagiging part siya ng as a policy agenda. Okay? So it is a process. So sabi natin kanina, process also. By which demands various groups are translated into items that government considers for action. So, dahil doon, bibigyan ng action. There are type of issues with regards to this, yan. So, there are types of issues with regards to agenda setting. We have subject issues, we have policy issues, and project issues. So, magkakaiba lang sila ng focus, pero lahat yan ay issues lang din. So, kung pag sinabi mong subject issues, so in general, kaya broad siya. So, policy issues with regards to legislation. Project issues, pag mga proyekto ng inyong administrasyon ay ng barangay ninyo, ng locality ninyo, ng munisipyo ninyo, diba? Mga project issues ninyo. Yung kalsada namin, bako-bako pa rin. Diba? Sinemento, pero within 1 month, basag-basag na, parang sira-sira naman na. So, issue yun. Pwede nyong erase yun. Okay? So, it can be considered as a public problem and magiging policy agenda siya, and then ipupunta sa next stage. So, formulation, legitimation, implementation, so, evaluation. So, later on, pag-usapan natin yung iba't ibang processes. So we have subject issues yan. So, kung titignan, magkakaiba lang yung focus nila wherein that issues came from. Okay? So we have also conditions to be met for issues to get included in the agenda. So ito yung mga kailangan mong tignan para ma-include siya as a agenda. So as reflected, it reach crisis proportions. Ayan, so emotive aspects. Ayan, nandiyan na. Let's go to the initiation of agenda. Initiation in other terms is beginning or the initial stages in agenda setting. We have inside and outside initiation. So pag sinabi mong inside initiation, within, okay? Common sense. Within, outside, outside. Okay? So, process within the government policymakers. So, the public is unaware of the issues being placed. So, bakit? Kasi, the process is just within the premises of the policy makers or the government officials. Sila muna yung nag-uusap. Yung mga problema ng kanilang mga respective locality, sila yung nagbibigay ng deliberations. Okay? So, when it comes to outside initiation ito na yung issues are generated based on the participation of groups or individuals. Mga protest activities. So, interest groups, mga lobbying, mga ganon. So, lobbying. Lobbying. So, So, may participation na ang mga unofficial actors na pinag-usapan natin last module 1. Okay, so this is the process according to John Kingdon, paano mag-set ng agenda. Na-discuss na natin ito last time, right? The policy stream, political stream. Tatanungin mo kung ano yung issue. So ngayon, mag-feasibility ka na, address mo na yung problem, and then ano ba yung naka-apekto ng solution to the issue. So yun yung proseso ng according to John Kingdon. Okay, so na-discuss na natin yun. So we have here an illustration or model in order to better understand the process in agenda setting. As you can see, the three streams are converged, meaning integrated or combined, to come up with a policy window. Ano nga ba yung policy window? It is the way that an issue is considered as a policy agenda. So itong mga process na ito, mga problems sa proseso na ito, pag pinagsama-sama yan, magkakaroon ng policy window. Yan yung opening. So, yan yung magiging way para makapasok ang isang issue as a policy agenda. So, define natin ang policy window. Ang policy window is simply an opportunity opening. Sabi ko kanina, di ba? Opportunity opening para what? Ibig sabihin, magkakaroon ng chance na yung issue can be included in the agenda. Okay? So, yung issue na yon na pag-usapan within that process, mga streams na yon, is magkakaroon ng policy window or opportunity para maging policy agenda. So, take note na ang windows na ito do not stay open long. So, if a chance is missed, another must be awaited. So, ibig sabihin, within the process, yung tatlong stream na yon, kapag ang isang issue hindi na-include at tapos nagkaroon na ng opening or yung policy window na yon, yung chance na ma-include yung issue na yon, nag-come up na sila sa isa, wala na yung isa, hindi na na-include. Kapag na-missed yon, hindi na siya pwedeng include within that issue, governmental issue. I-include na lang siya after within another, parang sabi niya alis dito, another must be waited. So, another deliberations na naman, another problems will be considered para sa mga parang suggestions, mga issues, mga problems doon na magde-deliberate. Okay? So, let's go to the types of policy window. We have routinized. Ayan, so routinized, discretionary, random, spill over. So, pag sinabi mong routinized, it is a routine procedural events dictate windows opening. So, paano nagkakaroon ng opening para yung isang issue is maging policy agenda? Yung mga routinary activities. So, baka may issue doon. Ano bang problema doon? So, discretionary, individual, political, behavior dictates window opening. So, yung mismong human behavior ng isang policymaker is siya mismo yung nagdi-dictate. Ibig sabihin, siya na yung nag-open. O, ito yung issue natin. So, ganun. Hindi na magiging part ng parang galing sa outside initiation, kundi within na. Okay? So, ganun ang tinutukoy ng discretionary. Kaya nga discretionary kasi they have that kind of ability to choose their own issues, diba? So, pero syempre, since representatives natin sila, these issues should come from the issues of their localities, their respective territorial subdivisions, political subdivisions. So, random window, unforeseen events. So, nandyan na lang. Okay? Spillover, related issues are drawn into the open windows. Isa lang yung problema, pero may mga relatable issues within that problem. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga other issues nun, sinasama na. Kaya tinawag na spillover kasi yung, kunyari, for example, anong bang problema ngayon? Problema sa ano? Ano ba yung mga problema natin ngayon sa gobyerno? Mga corruption. For example, corruption. Corruption saan? Problema sa issues ng PhilHealth, di ba? For example, ang PhilHealth. Ulit-ulit tayong nakakarinig ng mga issues diyan. So, yung problema sa PhilHealth, may another issues related with regards to the operational management of the organization. So, yung mga problema within that, yung mga causes ng issues na yon is spilled over. So, pinagsama-sama, sinama na, drawn, para magkaroon ng opening papunta sa policy agenda. So, ang tinatawag sa analysis dito, merong tayong tinatawag na problem and objective analysis. When an opportunity opens and identified what could be the issues or the problem that could be included in as a policy agenda, merong isinasagawa ang mga policymakers just to analyze more specific problems that could help them identify the solutions to that problem. So, sabi ko nga, this is the problem analysis and the objective analysis. So, ito na, yung problem and objective analysis. So, in problem analysis, ang ginagamit na tool is the problem tree. Kaya nga tinawag na problem tree, kasi lahat yan, problema. Merong cause, merong problema, meron ano yung cause nito, anong cause nun. So, ito yung mga cause. And then, effect. So, pag ganun. Ito yung cause, ang naging epekto yan. Ito yung cause, ang naging epekto yun. Ito yung cause, ang naging epekto yun. Parang ganun. So, ganun ang problem tree. Ang objective tree naman is positives. So, sabi niya dito, positives. Kabaliktaran ng problem tree. So, kung anong nilagay mo dito, lagay mo lang yung opposite niyan. Okay? Ganun lang yun. Para makapag-come up ka ng ano yung solution mo and ano yung resulta ng ginawa mo. The end and the means. Okay? The ends and the means. Okay? So, take note na hindi pwedeng magawa ang objective tree. Ang objective tree, hindi pwedeng magawa yan without the problem tree. Because objectives will be based on the problems you are going to identify. So, in other words, problema muna bago solusyon. Okay? Hindi yung may solusyon na. Tapos, anong isosolve natin? Okay? Nag-come up ka na ng solusyon, wala kang ng problema. Parang yung ex mo. Joke. May ex ka ba? Ay, nako. So, as you can see, problem tree is determined by the cause and effect of problems. So, puro negative thoughts ang dapat nakalagay sa problem tree. Unlike sa objective tree, opposite ng problem tree. Okay? So, tignan muna natin ano bang purpose ng problem analysis. So, sabi niya dito, it determines kung ano yung facts of the problem, which more specific. So, mas na-specify kung ano yung problema. Kasi may mga causes, di ba? So, yung actual situation daw is more analyzed sa pamamagitan ng causes na ina-identify natin. Tapos, ang constraints are the limitations na pwedeng i-consider, ang problema, mga ganun, ano yung mga issues, limitations, what else? Through this problem analysis daw, sabi niya dito is, mas dumadami ang pwedeng solusyon. Bakit kaya? Kasi hindi ka lang nakafocus sa isang problem. But because you identify its causes and effects, you can now come up with a lot of alternative solutions. So, sir, paano ba gumawa ng problem tree? Tanggal na yung... Paano ba gumawa ng problem tree, sir? Ayan, ito yung mga steps. Number 1, Specify the broad objective. Ano ba yung objective mo? Ano yung constraints mo? Ano yung mga hindrances, mga problema? Ano yung pumipigil? So, para ma-achieve mo yung objective na yun. So, sort constraints. So, sabi niya, i-sort mo daw. Paano bang mag-sort? Mag-organize, di ba? Sort into cause and effect. Alin dyan ang cause? Alin dyan ang effect? So, kanina pataas, di ba? Cause dito, effect doon. So, i-identify mo, i-sort mo. Punta mo sa isa. So, i-apply natin. Bago natin i-apply, meron kong gusto nyo ma-remember, gusto kong i-point out na the ultimate solution, yung magiging solution must address the causes, not the effects. In other words, any policy or program that you considered as a solution, nag-come up kayo ng policy, gumawa kayo ng programa, it should address the problem. Okay? Hindi kung ano yung effect ng problem. Ano ba yung problema? Hindi kung ano yung, ito yung, dahil nagpagawa ko ng kalsada, naging ganito sila. No. Okay? So, ano ba yung, bakit ka ba nagpagawa ng kalsada? Kasi mayroong problema. Wow, naayos na yung problema. Okay? Not the effect. It should address the problem. Okay? So, let's have an example on how to create. Ayan. So, basic lang muna. Objective. So, identify the objective kanina. So, yun yung step 1. Pangalawa, i-identify yung constraints. Ito yung mga problema. Ito yung mga nagpapabagal or nagiging barrier para ma-achieve mo yung healthy lifestyle. Ano ba yung mga nakalagay dito? Overweight ka. Tapos, stable food. Ano pa? Unhealthy lifestyle, unfit work functions, unhealthy foods, old habits, walang pera. Ano ba? Kumakain ng McDo. Ibig sabihin, convenience foods. Diba? So, katamaran, hindi marunong mag-exercise. Yun yung goal mo. Tapos ito yung mga problema. Ito yung mga nakita mong mga problema. So, anong pangatlong step? Sort. Sort into cause and effect. So, ano yung cause? Ano yung effect? Parang ganito. So, nag-identify ka ng problema, yung constraint mo. Kunyari, overweight and eat convenience foods. So, ito ba yung effect? At ito yung cause? Or ito yung cause at ito yung effect? So, kapag ba overweight ka, ang effect nun, kumakain ka ng foods, ng convenience foods. Or kapag kumain ka sa mga convenience foods, ang effect nun magiging overweight ka. So, identify kung ano yung cause, ano yung effect. Okay? So, what else? Ayan, so being overweight, ito yung cause. Kumain ka ng convenience food, kaya naging overweight ka. So, here is the complete example of problem 3. Ito yung objective mo kanina, ito yung cost mo, and then ito yung effects mo. So what? Sabi niya doon. Overweight ka, so what? Ibig sabihin, ang effect nun, you are unhealthy. You have this unhealthy lifestyle. Yun yung problema. Ang goal mo, ito. Bakit hindi mo nakakamit to? Dahil dito sa effect na to, and dahil sa mga causes na ito. Okay? So, bakit ka unfit? Kasi, hindi ka motivated. Wala kang love life. Joke lang. Nagalit si ganito. Ganyan. So, for example, too busy. Bakit ka unfit? Kasi masyado kang busy. Bakit ka unfit? Bakit ka hindi motivated? Kasi ang habits mo is masama. you have that bad habits, yung old habits mo, yun yung ginagawa mo. Katamaran. So, yun nagiging, kaya ka unmotivated, kaya ka boring, o kaya ganun, tamad ka. Parang ganun. So, wala kang disiplina. So, parang ganun lang. Okay? So, pag gumawa na kayo ng policy ninyo, gumawa kayo ng policy proposal, gagawa kayo ng problem 3 and objective 3. Ay ka, maaminan. Okay, babe. Ayan. Mr. Secretary, please come and fix my... Kunyari, may secretary ako dito, no? Okay, so, yan ang problem 3. Ano naman ang objective 3? Paano ginagawa? Ito. Number 1 and 2. Una muna, take problem statements. So, tignan mo muna ano yung problema. So, sabi niya dito, take problem statements. Ito na yung mga problems. And then, turn problem statement into objective statement. So, into objective statements. So, yung statements mo na nilagay mo dito, kailangan ang maging statement mo is positive. So, kung ano bang yung statement mo kanina? So, eat unhealthy foods. So, baliktarin mo lang. Eat healthy foods. Diba? Parang ganun lang. So, from positive to negative, yun yung objective. Very basic. Parang ganito. So, eat correctly. Sabi niya, eat correctly. Regular exercise. So, kinuha lang niya. Ni guru din. So, ano yan? So, parang transpose mo lang into positive side. So, ganun lang. So, that's it. I hope you learned something. Gagamitin niyo yan pag gumawa na kayo ng policy proposal ninyo. Gagawa kayo ng problem 3 and objective 3. Supposed to be yan yung gagawin ninyo eh. Okay? Supposed to be gagawa sana kayo ng problem 3 and objective 3 in this lesson. However, due to limited time, I will consider your concerns. Sa assignment nyo sana to, kaya other outputs nyo sa Google Classroom. Pero because of due to limited time and I will due to your concerns, I will just consider your concerns and situations during this time of pandemic. Maybe include ko na lang siya as part of your midterm exam. Siguro, let me think about it, okay? So, yun lang for your learning activity. That's it. Race conditions are situations in your locality that can be considered as a public problem. So, ano yung mga sitwasyon dyan sa barangay nyo o sa munisipyo nyo na pwedeng maging public problem, hindi mo lang problem. Okay? Why is it considered as a public problem? So, kasi nga, yung tatay ko, ganito ganyan. Public problem ba yan? Dahil sa pamilya nyo lang? So, hindi ganun. Okay? Pangalawa, defend your identified public problem. So, dito, separate nyo to ha. Why and then defend. Okay? So, nag-identify kayo ng mga conditions. Take note, conditions. Situations. Hindi condition. Situation. Okay? So, plural. Ilan, sir? Ilan? Pwedeng dalawa, ay pwedeng dalawa. Oh, sige, pwedeng dalawa. Pwedeng dalawa, 3, 5, 10. Kayong bahala. 10 points yan, no? Kung gusto nyo ng 10, di go! Maraming problema, discuss nyo. Bakit? So, explain nyo lang bakit. And then, defend. Another paragraph. Okay, so that's it for your lesson 1. For lesson 2, yung interest groups, pag-usapan natin yung influence. So parang naulit lang to kasi diniscuss na natin sa mga authors of public policy. So power and influence of interest groups. So, dahil na-discuss natin to, these are any association, individual, organizations, attempts on basis or more shared concerns. So, attempt. So, ibig sabihin, merong intention to influence public policy. They are classified according to their motivation or interest. So, ang mga interest groups, merong interest. Di ba? Nulit lang natin, redundant. So, syempre, merong nagpupush sa kanila bakit sila nagkaroon ng group na yun. Meron silang concerns, meron silang problema. Okay? So, it's either economic, wala na kaming makain. COVID! O kaya mga, di ba, yung mga kwan natin, yung mga drivers natin, o mga TODA, di ba? Interest groups yan. See? Pwede silang mag-protest, lobbying. Okay? So, professional, public interest. Okay, mga professional, mga, for example, mga lawyers, o mga doctors, kailangan na namin ng kailangan na namin ng, kailangan na namin ng injection. Hindi pala injection, vaccine, di ba? Mga doktor natin. So, public interest. Ano bang mga problema? So, nagkakamap. Kahit nga hindi mo kilala, nag-join ka na lang din. Sa school, meron ba yan? Protest, mga ganun. So, let's have some example of interest groups. We have gender groups, people's organizations, LGBTs, diba? So, people's organizations, voluntary organizations, NGOs, civil society organizations, business group, elites. Yan. Mga sample lang yan. Okay, paano sila nagkaka-influence and ano yung mga powers, ano yung kakayahan nila or yung ability. Okay? So, meron tayo dyan. Lobbying. So, pinag-usapan natin yan last time. Lobbying is an attempt to influence the decision of government or policymakers. It includes letter writing, phone calls, raise money, contribute money, testify, educate, and inform the public, and most of the time, they engage in public debate. So, ganyan. For example, yung mga lawyers natin, since matataas sila, they have these connections to the legislators, di ba? So, they can influence the process of passing a law or passing a bill, di ba? So, ayan. Financial capacity, pag may pera ka, syempre, pwede kang magkaroon ng ability to influence yung mga policymakers natin o tulungan mo sila magkaroon ng project, programa to your money. Kunyari, elite ka, di ba? Pero, in exchange of that, may other concerns, may other interests. So, yun yung disadvantage. Larger interest groups creates larger impact to public policy. So, pag sinabi mong ganito, interest groups with larger memberships have greater advantage over smaller ones. Siyempre, the more members of the groups, the larger the number of voters involved. So, in that case, yung issue na gustong i-include ng larger interest groups, will be effectively given attention by the legislators kasi nga, mas marami sila kaysa sa mga smaller groups, right? So, for example, may grupo ng students ng public ad. Meron din sa business ad. Okay? Sa mga elections natin. Now, for example, mas larger ang public ad students and you have these concerns in the college, of course. When you demand your issues to the concerns in SBOs, concern SBOs or student body organizations, and especially if you have your SBO candidate in the public ad, majority wins, right? So, mas marami. Your issues will be included as an agenda to their programs or policies that the SBO official will implement. So, kung mas marami, mas malakas. Ganun ang impact ng larger interest groups. Pros and cons. Ang pros is positive side or advantage, potential benefits niya. Problems are address, efficiency of delivery of basic services. Ang cons naman niya is undue influence, just like corruption, bribery, illicit contribution paid. So, yan. So, pwedeng maging cause ng corruption yan. Pwede rin maging cause ng parang may address yung problema talaga. Diba? Through the power of the interest groups. Efficiency, mas mapabilis yung programa, mas mapabilis yung serbisyo dahil sa kakayahan nilang financial, di ba? Kakayahan nilang communicate, makipag-negotiate sa mga legislators natin. So, ganon. Ayan, tapos na yung lesson 2 natin. For your learning activity, enumerate 2 interest groups that exist in your municipality or city and explain how they can influence your local officials in public policy making. So, magbigay kayo ng example ng interest group sa locality ninyo. Specific huwag nyo sabihin NGO. Anong NGO? Diba? Anong pangalan ng NGO? Anong goal niya? Diba? So, paano mo nasabi? Paano mo nasabi? So, and explain how they can influence. Paano sila paano nila na-influensyahan yung mga local officials ninyo. For example, yung mayor ninyo, paano siya, o kaya yung mga sanggunian ninyo. Diba? Pumupunta ba siya? Tumutulong ba sila ng mga proyekto ninyo? Mga proyekto ng gobyerno? Ganun ba sila nag-influensya? Parang ganun. So, that's it for your learning activity. Thank you for listening to your congressman. Joke lang. So, thank you for listening to me. And I hope you are doing good as of the moment. And see you next video. Bye.